Years ago, I was working in a salon with the sweetest girl, and at the time, she was dealing with some health issues that led her to go see her doctor, and as it turns out, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Throughout the years, she has shared her experience with her diagnosis, different surgeries that she has had, different treatment that she has had done, but she has always been a very big advocate for the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer and talking to your doctor about them. I remember one of the first times that she posted the signs and symptoms of her cancer, and I was absolutely floored because some of these are issues that people deal with on a regular basis. So some of these signs and symptoms include weight gain, bloating, abdominal pain, tiredness, trouble eating, urinary changes, upset stomach, painful intercourse, constipation, and changes in menstrual cycle. The biggest ones that stood out to me were bloating, abdominal pain, tiredness, upset stomach, and constipation. These symptoms are connected to so many different things. How would you differentiate between these being a gut health issue or a hormonal imbalance or a vitamin deficiency or something serious like ovarian cancer? Hair loss can be very similar to all of this. How do you differentiate between hair loss being caused from a vitamin deficiency or a gut health issue or something serious like an autoimmune condition? You have to have blood work done. Welcome to Hair Loss with Melissa Anger. I am your host, Melissa. Let's dive right into this episode. For years, the most common cause of hair loss in females has been known as androgenetic alopecia. This can also be diagnosed as female pattern baldness, genetic hair loss, or androgenic alopecia. It is my personal opinion that diffuse alopecia or telogen effluvium is the most common cause of hair loss in women and not androgenetic alopecia. The reason why I feel so firmly on this is because there are so many different causes that can lead to diffuse alopecia. More often than not, this will be brushed off as hair loss that is simply being caused just from stress. And while psychological stress can be a big issue, there are also things that are considered stressful on the body. So while this is a stress issue, you have to get to the root of the problem. Whether it is psychological stress, having surgery, drastic weight loss, a drastic change in your diet, having a baby, vitamin deficiencies, there's a very big list of things that can be stressful on the body. A very big part of getting to the actual root cause is a process of elimination. Remember, hair loss is a symptom. It's not something that just randomly happens. So big picture, we have to look at everything in blood work to be able to eliminate or pinpoint possible issues or rule them out. And it's common for people to be experiencing more than one cause of diffuse alopecia at one time. A great example of this is bariatric patients. They've just had surgery, there's a drastic change in their diet, there's possible vitamin deficiencies, and there's rapid weight loss. All of these things will cause diffuse alopecia. In this episode, we're going to dive into vitamin deficiencies, and I think it would be helpful to have a basic understanding of vitamins and minerals in general and the role that they play when it comes to our hair. While a deficiency in almost any vitamin or mineral can affect your hair in one way or another, there are specific vitamins and minerals that I like to have checked in blood work. Those for sure will lead to hair loss and a change in hair growth. So folate, B12, vitamin D, iron, or more importantly, ferret in your iron storage, and magnesium. Some vitamins are water soluble, meaning they dissolve easily in water. You don't have to take them with food. And some vitamins and minerals are fat soluble, meaning you have to take them with food. They have to pair with a fat in the body in order to have proper absorption. Water-soluble vitamins include all of the B vitamins and vitamin C. They don't build up in the body, and we get rid of excess B vitamins or vitamin C when we use the bathroom. Vitamin B1 helps prevent blood vessels from constricting. Now, I want you to think of capillaries that are connected to each hair follicle. They help your hair eat. Your hair feeds off of blood. They're like little vampires. So we want to prevent blood vessels from constricting, capillaries from constricting, so your hair can get a good meal. Vitamin B2 activates B6 and B3. B3 helps maintain healthy hair follicles, oil production, and it helps with keratin synthesis in the body. B4 is more commonly recognized as choline, and choline helps the liver better produce bile. And bile plays a huge role in how we break down fat in our small intestine, how we cleanse the body, how we absorb fat-soluble vitamins and minerals. B5 is more commonly referred to as pantothenic acid. This is a big one that you will see in a lot of vitamins or supplements for your hair and skin. It's commonly recommended to people that deal with cystic acne, and it can also be seen in different shampoos, skincare products. It's great for both the hair and the skin. It's a big one for gut health. It helps create red blood cells, and it helps process vitamin B2. B6 helps with protein metabolism. It helps make amino acids accessible to the cells that make hair. These are stem cells that are located in the hair follicles, and they are responsible for regrowing new hair when your follicle has entered the growing phase. B6 is also responsible for increasing the flow of oxygenated blood to the follicles and to the scalp, and it's also a big one for stress. It's a big one for helping you sleep better. B7 is more commonly recognized as biotin. It helps regulate the metabolism, it helps the nervous system, it helps maintain mucous membranes in the skin, and it also helps with the synthesis of amino acids and fatty acids. Vitamin B7 and B5, so biotin and pantothenic acid, are absorbed by the same receptors in the gut. So if you are somebody that increases biotin and you start to break out, this can be a common symptom of you being deficient in B5. B9 is also known as folate. It's needed for red blood cell production. It helps with the metabolism of amino acids. It's needed for maintaining healthy cells and for hair growth in general. B12 helps with the production of red blood cells, ensuring that the hair receives proper blood circulation, and helps with cell metabolism. Vitamin C is a big one that you will see people increase when they feel like they are getting sick, but it's really big when it comes to stress. Vitamin C is known as an antioxidant. It helps with oxidative stress. It's needed for our body to make collagen naturally, or to utilize collagen if you are getting it from a marine source or from a bovine source. It can be anti-inflammatory. It helps with T cells. There are all sorts of benefits for vitamin C, but the biggest impact that it has on the body is how much vitamin C the body needs when it is overproducing cortisol. The normal recommended amount of vitamin C per day is around 67 milligrams. There are more and more doctors that are recommending that we get close to 200 milligrams each day of vitamin C, just simply based on our stress levels constantly on the rise. When it comes to fat-soluble vitamins, there are 4 vitamins and then there are 8 minerals. And again, most vitamin brands require that you take fat-soluble vitamins with food. It has to be paired with a fat in order to have proper absorption. Your gut health and your liver health play a big role in your absorption rate and the way that you are storing these in the body. Some of these vitamin deficiencies or mineral deficiencies tend to have a bigger impact when it comes to hair loss specifically, just simply based on what is your gut health like, what is your liver function like, how well are you utilizing and storing these different fat-soluble vitamins or minerals in the body. Vitamin A helps maintain healthy sebum levels. It helps stimulate thyroid receptors in the thyroid. It helps both the outer and inner skin, and too much vitamin A will actually lead to hair loss. Vitamin D is the master key to our immune system. Almost every cell in the body has a receptor for vitamin D. It's responsible for maintaining the health of stem cells in our hair follicles. And again, these stem cells are responsible for rapidly regrowing hair once the follicles have entered the growing phase again. It helps you better absorb calcium. Cortisol has a huge negative impact on vitamin D, and vitamin D acts like a hormone in our body. And just to give you an idea, if you spend 20 minutes in the sun, no sunblock, no sunglasses, short sleeves, basking like a cat, 20 minutes is close to the equivalent of 30,000 IUs of vitamin D. Vitamin E helps support a healthy scalp. It's also an antioxidant, just like vitamin C, and it's a great one for inflammation. Vitamin K helps with regeneration of new strands. It helps hair grow thicker and longer. It helps prevent calcification all over the body, but in some cases, calcification can occur in the hair follicles. So vitamin K is a big one at helping prevent that. It helps us turn food into energy. It helps our cells' mitochondria, and it's another great one for inflammation. Vitamin K has also been shown to help stimulate the production of a protein called GAS6. That's the abbreviation, GAS6. GAS6 has the ability to awaken dormant hair follicles. Calcium deficiencies can lead to hair loss, but it can also affect the way that a person absorbs iron. But there are so many doctors that talk about how if you increase vitamin D, this will affect increase the way that you are absorbing calcium in the body. And most of us can get enough calcium from our food alone. Copper plays a huge role in our hair's regeneration and the thickness of the hair strand. Also, a copper deficiency, along with a folate deficiency, can cause hairs to prematurely turn gray. I'm not talking about genetics. I'm talking about hair that is turning gray and is normally just categorized as it being stress. Those deficiencies are two big reasons why that can happen, both copper and folate. Iron helps boost circulation and carry oxygen to the hair follicle, so it helps provide that meal to your hair. Magnesium is such a big one. It is responsible for hundreds and hundreds of chemical processes within the body. But if you are somebody that falls into the category of being consistently deficient in vitamin D, even when you supplement, and some people, they're supplementing therapeutic amounts of vitamin D, so 5,000 to 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a week, and they cannot get their vitamin D levels to go up. Assuming that there is no issue with liver function, it can be because of a magnesium deficiency. If you are deficient in magnesium, this will affect the way that the body is absorbing and utilizing vitamin D, whether it's coming from the sun or from a supplement. Phosphorus works with calcium and helps detoxify the body for growth. Potassium is a big one in relation to hair loss in general and preventing it. Selenium helps with the synthesis of 35 different proteins, and it helps convert thyroid hormones in the liver. Zinc helps carry vitamin A to the thyroid. It helps with thyroid hormone synthesis in the liver. It helps with scalp health, and it also plays a huge role when it comes to other hormones as well. When you have blood work done with your doctor, you will have your result listed, and next to your result will give you a lab standard or a range. There are so many times when somebody is experiencing hair loss from a vitamin deficiency, they have blood work done, and certain levels are considered within range. But when it comes to hair loss, certain vitamins and minerals need to be at certain levels. This is coming from more of a trichology standpoint. So vitamin D should be between 50 and 80. If you have an autoimmune condition, it should be closer to being between 80 and 100. Your ferritin, or your iron storage, should be between 80 and 100. And more often than not, doctors are just looking at iron or saturation. They don't focus on ferritin. If your ferritin is under 80, it will absolutely lead to hair loss. And a lot of functional medicine doctors and trichologists like to see magnesium closer to 6. Again, if you are deficient in magnesium, this can lead to issues with the way that the body is absorbing and utilizing vitamin D. Now, if you have been diagnosed with a vitamin deficiency, you will then begin to supplement whatever you may be deficient in. So vitamin D, magnesium, B12, iron. And it's important to note that you want to return to your doctor after a few months of supplementing to see if your levels are going up. If you've been diagnosed with a vitamin deficiency and you have been supplementing for months or even longer and you are not seeing a change in your levels, it is either the supplement itself that you are taking, or it is a possible issue with liver function or your gut health. Different forms of vitamins have a better absorption rate. A liposomal has the very best absorption rate. It is so close to 100%. Next is a liquid, then a gummy, a veggie cap, a gel cap, and then a caplet. Caplets have the worst absorption rate. You don't chew them, you swallow them whole. They have to sit in your stomach acid in order to be broken down to a certain point, for them to be small enough to fit through a sphincter that is in the bottom of our stomachs that leads to our small intestine. The more broken down something is as it enters your stomach and goes into the small intestine faster, the better the absorption rate. When it comes to your liver function and your gut health, these two go hand in hand in this instance. So your liver produces bile, which helps you break down fat in your small intestine. You need to be able to break down fat molecules to a very, very small size in order to utilize and absorb fat-soluble vitamins and minerals better. So if you are somebody that constantly deals with constipation, this can be a bile production issue. You're not producing enough. There's a bile deficiency. If you are somebody that eats food that is high in fat, so like a greasy burger or fried foods, and this sends you to the toilet within 30 minutes of eating it, this can be a sign that you are also not properly breaking down fats in your small intestine because of a digestive enzyme issue. I cannot tell you how many times I have done a one-on-one consultation with someone and they will casually mention, because their doctor casually mentioned, oh yeah, I was a little low on vitamin D, or oh yes, I am a little bit low on iron, but my doctor said it was no big deal, just start taking a vitamin D or an iron supplement. In my opinion, vitamin deficiencies are not taken as serious as they should. This will not only lead to diffuse alopecia or telogen effluvium, but oftentimes can be diagnosed as chronic telogen effluvium, because while this hair loss is not permanent, it is continuous. If you never resolve the vitamin deficiency, this will continue on until that deficiency is resolved. As I started this whole process of trying to be a better resource for my clients and researching hair loss, I really started to look into vitamin brands. And at one point, I took a list of the top 6 to 10 vitamins, multivitamins, hair, skin, and nail vitamins, ones that you could get at a big box store, ones that you had to sign up, like an MLM type vitamin or mineral. I took this list of supplements and all of their ingredients to my doctor, and we went over all of them with a fine-tooth comb. I wanted his honest opinion as a doctor on which ones to avoid and which ones looked good. He was not impressed with any of them. And these are the most common, or at the time, the most common vitamins that clients were buying or you would see in an advertisement when it came to healthy hair or hair loss. He didn't like any of them. A few months had gone by, and we actually took a trip to Arizona, where I am from, for my grandpa's 90th birthday, and we stayed at my cousin's house. And this cousin, her and some of her children have a lot of stomach issues. They have to be aware of labels. And my cousin is so good at looking at a label and knowing exactly what is in it. In her refrigerator was a bottle of the strawberry liquid multivitamin from Mary Ruth Organics. I was instantly interested in what this was. I wanted to know all about it, just simply based on knowing how strict she is with ingredients and labels. I instantly wanted to try it. And with most things, when it comes to vitamins, minerals, shampoos, products, anything that I recommend, I'm typically my own guinea pig first. So I started taking Mary Ruth Organics, and within a month, I was absolutely blown away by how quickly my hair grew. So as I started to see such a huge difference in my own hair and how I felt, my energy levels, and I just felt good overall, I started referring clients to this vitamin brand. And it really blew me away how most of my clients, they come in every 5 weeks on average to get their hair done. And I had so many female clients that were coming in 5 weeks, 10 weeks later, and I would go to weave their hair and actually started having somewhat of a difficult time because of all of the new hairs that were growing in. There was not only a ton of new little hairs, but they were so long. Around 10 weeks, all of their new hairs on average were close to 2 inches long. Hair on average grows 1 centimeter a month. So to see results like this, it blew my mind even more. It was about 7 months after I had been referring clients to Mary Ruth's that I started sharing videos on TikTok. And Mary Ruth's had shared one of my videos, and I about died. We were at a friend's house. My neighbor sent me a text message and said, "Oh my gosh, you are famous. You just came up on my Instagram. Mary Ruth shared one of your videos." I thought, oh my gosh, this is unreal. We were all looking it up on Instagram. I made a video. I got all emotional. And I said in the video, I will make a hair vitamin with you one day. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow, but I will work with you one day. And I got a message from Mary Ruth herself on Instagram. I was absolutely elated. And she said, "What is your phone number? I want to contact you sometime this week." It was a Wednesday. I was at the salon. I was in the back mixing color. And she sent me some voice messages. She was pumping. That was so nice of her to take the time to reach out to me. And she was so encouraging. She said, "I believe in you. You can absolutely do this. You can do this on your own. You don't need me to do this. I know you can do it." And to be honest with you, I felt so deflated. It was like, oh no, there goes my chance of ever working with them. I thought so highly of them. I really wanted that opportunity to work more one-on-one with them and their company. So I went on with my color. I went on with my night. And a few nights later, somebody had asked for a tutorial on how to take their liquid probiotic. So I made a video showing you squeeze a little bulb on the bottle. Adults take 4 of those, kids take 2. And that night, Mary Ruth's husband, David, had commented on that video. I had no idea he was on TikTok. I had no idea that he had followed me. And he said, oh, this is a great product. We give this to our kids. And I said, oh my gosh, it's a fantastic product. I give it to my kids as well. We all take this probiotic. He ended up sending me a message on TikTok a few days later and said, are you available to chat? I was like, yes, I will make time. Oh my goodness. We talked that evening. I sat in my car in the garage because that was the most quiet place in my house. I knew my kids wouldn't be running around. I wasn't having to do the mom snap like in the background. I'm on the phone. You've got to be quiet. So I sat in my car. We had this great conversation. We talked for over an hour. I talked about my passion with all of this, things that I was discovering when it came to hair loss, things that I had already been recommending to clients, and the results that they were starting to see when it came to hair loss, hair growth, just hair health in general. And I told him at that time, I feel so impressioned to bring this up again, but I would love to work with you on a hair vitamin. It has been so neat in the last year to really have developed such a great working relationship with Mary Ruth's. We came out with the hair care liposomal in the beginning of 2022. That has been absolutely amazing. It is so neat to see clients behind the chair or to get messages on Instagram, to have people comment on videos on TikTok, to get emails from people saying, my hair has completely changed. These are the few things from Mary Ruth's that I started taking, and I started noticing a difference so quickly. I'm so thankful for all of the information that you give on your social media. Ultimately, two of the biggest reasons why I am so loyal to only a couple of supplement companies like Mary Ruth's and Wholesome Story is number one, the results that I see in clients, and number two, the quality of the supplements. In doing research on different vitamin companies, supplements in general, with my doctor, he has always stressed the importance of really doing your homework when it comes to any type of vitamin that you may be taking. He has always stressed the importance of getting nutrients from your food first and then relying on supplements. But supplements are not regulated by the FDA. So it is up to you to do your research and find out whether what you are consuming is a high quality product or if it is a cheaper version of a vitamin or a mineral. I'm really big on companies that do third-party testing, and Mary Ruth's prides themselves in their third-party testing. They were actually awarded the highest clean label award from a very well-known independent third-party company known as the Clean Label Project. If you would like to try Mary Ruth Organics for yourself, I have their website and Amazon both linked in my Instagram and on my TikTok page. Those handles are both the same, MABROWSANDHAIR. I have affiliate codes for both that will save you money every time you order something from either their website or from Amazon. And join me next time as we dive even further into diffuse alopecia, telogen effluvium, and what some of the most common causes are.